Hannah Arendt was a Jewish thinker who managed to escape from Germany um, after being interned for a short time in the 40s. She was one who wrestled deeply with concepts of God and what it meant that things like the concentration camps in Germany occurred, and what it meant about a God um, who many believed was in control of things, and both good and evil, and who made sure that all things happened for a purpose. And she really wrestled with this idea that God would cause children to be burned in incinerators and concentration camps. And she really came down to this idea, one that I want to share with you, that I think is incredibly powerful. She said that in the modern era, unlike ancient understandings of God, she said that belief, no less than non-belief, is grounded in doubt. Belief, no less than non-belief, is grounded in doubt. I read something else this week that I think goes along with that nicely, and it's this idea that we have all become enslaved to a tyranny of spiritual certainty. A tyranny of spiritual certainty that when faced with things like concentration camps, when faced with things like school shootings, when faced with things like poverty and COVID and AIDS and drought and famine and all of these kinds of things, somehow we, as people of faith, are asked to pretend like those things aren't challenges to our concept of a God that is all powerful and all loving. But they are. They really are. And to pretend otherwise is to turn a blind eye and become enslaved to this idea of spiritual certainty. When I read that idea about the tyranny of spiritual certainty, it also said this: doubt is not a threat to faith. It's faith that has finally taken off its mask. Doubt is not a threat to faith. It is faith that has finally taken off its mask. Friends, authentic faith is not faith that ignores the questions. It's not faith that pretends it doesn't have doubts. Doubt, or faith, no less than non-faith, is grounded in doubt. There are things we simply cannot know. If we believe in a God that is inscrutable, then how can we claim all of these things without question? I'm not saying that we don't believe. I'm saying that our belief has to make room for questions. It has to make room for the uncertainty that creeps in when we see evil flourish in our world. There are answers to that, but sometimes I think the mystery is where faith is really found. When we rush to be certain, we fall prey to the same kind of faith that causes people to harm others or fly planes into buildings. The most dangerous people in the world are the people who are the most certain. The people who cannot see nuance, the people who can't recognize the extent to which doubt plays a role in faith.